Well, hello and welcome to this latest video. Today we're going to look at anchors, commonly known as bookmarks, attributes for the elements, and links, how to link to other pages and to the bookmarks you're going to create. So let's get started. Okay, I've created a template for you which is on GitHub. You can download it by clicking on Fetch at the bottom here in Atom, and it will bring down these files for you. Okay, now what you need to do is take your template and click on Copy, and then paste it into the same file, and then rename it as index.html. Okay, when you've done that, remember to click Save, and then I've added a paragraph at the top. Okay, all I'm going to do is I'm going to make this into a heading rather than a paragraph. So I shall copy what it says there. We want that to be, say, H2, and that makes it into a heading. Okay, so what is an anchor? Well, an anchor is a bookmark, and we're going to make each one of these into a bookmark. And so we need to add an attribute to the element. And one of the basic attributes is an attribute called name, but the other attribute is the attribute called ID. And so we can just give it an attribute. Okay, so ID equals 1. Okay. Oops. 3, and if we come down. Okay. So I've given each of these paragraphs an ID. Now that by itself doesn't make it into a bookmark. All it does is give it an ID. Now it's always a good idea, if you're using these as bookmarks rather than anything else, to actually give it a name. So what I will do is okay, so you can see that I've given it the name bookmark 1. I shall copy that and we'll paste it in bookmark 2. Bookmark 3. And computer is very slow again today for some reason. Bookmark 4. Okay, it's always a good idea to give it a name, because when you come back in 6 months' time or 2 years' time to update the page, then it will actually tell you much more about it. The name is just for your benefit, basically. It's the ID which is important. Okay, so these are called attributes, and the elements can have a lot of attributes. Okay, so for example, one which you'll commonly add is a class. Okay, this is used for styling a lot, and it's a very common attribute, but we're not going to use that one today, and we'll just come back and delete it. Okay, so how do we link to these bookmarks? How do we actually know how to get to them and that type of thing? Okay, well, it's very easy. We can create at the top. Let's have a look. So we want an unordered list, and inside we're going to have So we have 4 bookmarks, so I've created 4 list items. Okay, and again, inside the elements of the list items, I haven't put any attributes. Okay, so the next one is the anchor item, and it starts with an A. And here we're actually wanting it to link to a particular bookmark. So we actually have to give it an attribute. Okay, so that's href. And for now, I will just close that. Okay, we need, of course, to close the anchor. And then we need to say what that anchor does. So let's just write something very easy like bookmark 1. So how do we make this go to here? Well, of course, you've seen this 1. And we could just put 1 in there, but it doesn't actually work. You need to tell it that it's actually on the same page. And there's a special code for this, and that's the hash symbol, or if you're American, the pound sign. Okay, and that tells it that it's on the same page. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just for speed, because this seems to be running very slowly at the moment, is I'm just going to copy and paste, and we'll do that, and we'll go 4, 3, 2, and 2, 3, 4. Now, so that's it up and running. We're all ready to go. It's all up and running. Okay, so let's see what that looks like, and I will start live server. This will take a moment. So while that's happening, I shall just move Atom over to the left-hand side of the screen, and once live server has started, we'll move that to the right-hand side of the screen, and click on HTML and then HTML5. You can see we've got the heading, which is the same here. This is title, so H2. And then we got bookmark 1, bookmark 2, bookmark 3, and bookmark 4 underlined in the blue link. So if I click on bookmark 1, you'll see that the page has risen up. If I click on bookmark 3, not much happens because it's already on the page. Okay, so if we do bookmark 4, you'll see the page runs up. We really do need a bit more space on this, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the page smaller. So I've made the page a bit smaller. I don't really like this new form of operas. It doesn't really work very well. So if we click on bookmark 3, you'll see the page has moved up. We can go back to the top, bookmark 4, and we can go back bookmark 2. And so as you can see, it moves everything around and it moves to the bookmarks. You can of course put a bookmark to actually return to the top. So for example here, okay, we'll give this an ID of top. Okay, and then all we need to do is create a link at the end. Okay, I'm going to put it here, and don't forget to close the link. Alright, thank you. Okay, and then I shall copy that we'll move it down, and we'll put one there. We'll move it down, and put one there, and just for good measure, we'll put one right at the bottom. Okay, save it. And as you can see, we now have a number of links marked top. So if I click on bookmark 3, comes down, I can click on any of these and it takes us back to the top of the page. So that's how you can have a system of anchors in your page. Okay, so well, how do you then create a link that goes to another page? Okay, well, let's just copy that, and this time we're going to change the name of the information that's inside the tag, and I'm going to put my website. Okay, and we can say visit okay, and in here we need to tell it where we're going to go to. So you now need to give it the full details of the page. Okay, so no hash this time because we're moving to a different page. Okay, and what you really need to do is you need to give the full link of the page. Okay, and so that's okay. So I've included the http:///. This isn't 100% necessary, but it is a good idea to do it. So if I press Control and S now, you'll see we've now got a new link under the bookmarks, and if I click on it, this might take a moment, we get to my JQL.uk homepage, and as you can see, it asks about cookies. So let's go back by clicking the back button on the browser. So that's how you create, okay, a link to another page. Now, sometimes you want the link to open in a separate tab in the browser. You don't want it to overwrite. This is especially if you're going to a different website or something like that. Okay, and the way to do that is there's an attribute called target. Okay, and here we would put in an underscore followed by blank. Okay, that tells the browser to open a blank page and then load this into that page. So if I save that and then click on this again, you'll see that it creates a new tab. Okay, there are other attributes that you can use, for example top, bottom, that type of thing. The most useful that I've ever found in my 15 or so, well, it's more than that, it's 20 years of programming, 22 years of web programming, is the blank one. Okay, I'm not saying you can't use the others, I'm just saying that this is the one that in my 22 years of producing web pages I've used the most. Okay, so we looked at attributes. So ID is an attribute. Please notice that the ID must be unique. You cannot repeat the ID. Okay, and remember that if you have the hash in the anchor tag, okay, that means that it will go to this page. And a common trick that we have is when we actually create a link that we don't actually have the address for yet. So if I just do that, we will just have the hash, the pound sign, okay, in the sorry, I'm just trying to save it. Okay, we'll just have the pound sign as the link address, and as you can see, we've got unknown link. If I click on it, absolutely nothing happens, because all it really does is just reload the page. That is for this page. That's all it is. The hash means this page. Okay, next time we'll look at images. I hope you found that useful. Please like and subscribe. My name's John, and I'll see you next time.